by Mary Day. I know we're giving a lot of crazy props to MVP Black. Only it seems like that Mighty, they have been picking from draft. They have studied the draft and the style of MVP very well. It worked out for first half, but later on it just did not work. Let's see if they can actually bring it back in game number 2.
That we will. Black's gonna pick Cursed Hollow here as their map choice. You know, I feel like Joker's stage dive was just so well countered by MVP Black that it was hard for him to do anything with that. He didn't use it as a goal because they were so heavily pressured by lanes. SDE couldn't get resets very often because they weren't getting kills, and Magi was under so much pressure, and he didn't have Mage Falset for Boomerang to clear waves, so he stuck around. So the globals they had worked out for them in the early game and the late game. Black just overtook them in the end. So a good draft, and I expect with first ban here again for Mighty, they're going to have a solid second draft. They've clearly done their research here. This time they remove the Zarya, and Black will take away Sans' Dahaka.
Yeah, with that, they can just start with Falstad as usual. Or this time, Zeratul taken away from Kyocha.
The deny pick.
That was basically the deny coming out from MVP Black. Mighty really had their chances on those team fight, but it was all Kyocha just void prisoning all of Mighty into one void prison, and that just stalled so much time, gave the time for entire MVP Black to disengage. I think that made the difference, and Mighty just taking that Zeratul. I like that pick.
Well, we have an old Kyocha favorite here with the Abathur. I think it's going to be Reset who plays him in this case. Although, that wouldn't work because they wouldn't have a ranged damage dealer. So actually, I think Kyocha will go back to his old position here and play the Abathur, because Sake is going to have to play the Ragnaros, as we've seen already in the past. So this is interesting. Now, this is probably somewhat of a denial pick for the Zeratul pairing here. This will be Sans' second televised match of Zeratul career time as they pick up Tychus ETC. Seems like Malfurion is a sad druid today, as we're just not seeing him very prioritized. Falstad banned to take away the global. See what Mighty decides to pick here. They might go into damage, as they've already got that locked down.
I would actually like to see Malfurion banned coming out from Mighty, which will save ETC's stage dive or Mosh a lot more available for, especially for Joker. He has been having such a hard time coming in.
You know what? I actually think you're right. Like, I actually would have preferred that to Varian. Also, Nasan could play Rhaegar and Karzim so well, especially the Rhaegar. So then you leave Merida his Karzim, but you get your Rhaegar. So I would have liked that ban a lot, actually. I like your line of thinking here. They're going to take Varian away because they don't want that big taunt combo with Ragnaros to be an issue. But you know what? This Abathur pick, I'm really curious what they're going to pair it with.
Tassadar Tracer, even if I don't know. MVP Black does bring out that not weird, but surprising comp sometimes. And Abathur does a lot of damage along with that Tracer. It's very annoying.
Well, you can't do it anymore,
yeah,
right?
not anymore.
Like it doesn't work anymore. So Abathur normally empowers roaming heroes in the early game, and we see ganks with him a lot. He's a really powerful hero on this long map. He scales well, and he was often a must ban on this map, but it's rare to see him without a big melee hero to get ganks. Yes, he can help Ragnaros get picks in the soul lane sometimes when there's the counter gank attempts, but you know, I don't know how well this is going to work out for Black.
I think this is the chance for Sans to bring out that Medivh. I think they can actually make it work with this kind of draft. With ETC, will be a little bit weak in the front line, but they're the one with Tychus, and MVP Black does not have the most burst damage. So I think Medivh is also a possibility, especially when Sans did play Medivh a lot.
The problem with going Medivh here is, can Magi play Zeratul? I don't think so. So I feel like I like your line of thinking in terms of heroes, but whoa!
Double support!
This feels like some bloodlust shenanigans here. There's a lot of damage to be done with Hunter's Mark, and this will be our first Tyrande in Korea. See if this works out. It's going to be able to help burst down the front lines a lot, especially Tyrael when he gets caught by a power slide or is trying to go in and holy ground. Sometimes you can just kill him very quickly when he's being aggressive like that. Very unusual drafts from both teams going to this. They're kind of trying to out-meta each other. We'll see who gets the better hand as we go into game number 2 on Cursed Hollow. In blue, Team Mighty. Joker on ETC, Sands on Zeratul, Magi on Tyrande, Nasong on Rhaegar, and SDE on Tychus.
And in red, MVP Black. Sake on Ragnaros, Reset on Li Ming, Tist on Tyrio, Kyocha on Avatar, Merryday on Karazim.
So Kyocha going back to his old Abathur here that he played so much along with Sniper back in the old days, 2015, some of spring 2016 when he was super popular on this map.
I feel like I saw this double support come from another region recently, if not yesterday. I'm not sure if it was NA or EU or any team.
This is the classic So-Ronda, as we call it in Korean. May cost Tist his life. Nearly there. Merryday also very low. So is the Korean word for cow, and Ronda is the last part of Tyrande, so that's where the combo name comes from. And we see it dominate early games on many different types of maps, usually smaller maps like Infernal Shrines or Tomb of the Spider Queen.
It was one of the most powerful duo long time ago, but not as much. But here's the pick.
And you also have the damage amplification that comes out from Hunter's Mark. So when you pair those things together, suddenly you got a Deadly Ming from 100 to 0 in like less than a second and a half is what we just saw there.
Yeah, she couldn't even teleport out of there with those chain CCs. And with that, they can actually... And also, Tyrande can out-snipe Avatar in a way. You can't snipe it with one damage, but that's also a possibility if you can actually snipe it at the right angle.
So they're really pushing the lanes here, using this combo to be aggressive. And Nasong is solo top, which is not unusual. We used to see this in the old times with Rhaegar when he was the top tier support. Spring and early times in summer, we'd see a lot of solo Rhaegar lanes, especially when you have this aggressive ETC comp. You don't need the heals, you need the damage. You leave Rhaegar to just wave clear and stay up there by himself. Once he gets Feral Heart, he can solo lane a lot better. I don't think that Nasong's going to build that way necessarily, because he already went into Lightning Bong, so he's not going full wolf here. Always go full wolf. He is going to go into Feral Heart, though. He locks it in now here at 4, so is going to take that as we see a full Owl build as well coming out from Tyrande.
Yeah, it's going to be... Feels like it's going to be a full Sentinel snipe on the Avatar build from what I just saw.
Could work out.
Yep, it may be it, but it is Kyocha on Avatar, so let's see if that actually can work. And these are some things that are very uncommon in this region especially. And some old things that teams are just not prepared at the moment that might actually choke them from the side, and it may work.
May very well. Tist gets the symbiote here, giving him a little bit of poke. It's going to be Kyocha who pokes from afar here as he continues to sit in that bot lane. Not going to try to body soak or anything like that, and see the rotation of Zeratul down, as Sands is not going to let that go for free here. It's tough for MVP Black to actually contest this even with the symbiote poke, just because they're kind of 4v4ing with Tyrande ETC, which is really difficult to do. There's a lot of poke here. And with the Siege Giants and Nasong's wave clear, it's really unfortunate for Black. They're going to have this small window, but look, they use the Sentinel to deny the Tribute, and SDE is getting extra soak mid. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Mighty, and I'm really liking this. Look, he just gets a wave, he comes back. SDE is going to come up, looks for the grenade, doesn't even need it. Good dodge there by Merryday.
And combo misses, and that's going to punish Magi. That's a death coming for Tyrande, and even Joker going very low does get taken out with Tist at the very end.
So they had this brilliant idea. SDE rotates mid, gets the extra EXP. Coach is actually going to kind of even that out a little bit, but loses the bot EXP here, as you can see. Oh, Symbiote going to make that a different story. Anyways, the idea there, if nobody dies, if nobody gets caught, is brilliant, but MVP Black just kind of outplays them in terms of mechanics. Gets 2 kills, gets the Tribute, And with Kyocha here soaking a little bit of extra, gets about a maybe 30% EXP lead, nearly 50% actually now. So this works out in their favor. Level 7 not locked in yet for Nasong. Can't imagine he doesn't take Cleanse, but is giving other options thought. Like, he like goes for Clairvoyance. I'm like, ooh, that's a bit weird. Farsight, I should say.
Yeah, even Lunar Blaze on Tyrande. I think Tyrande is mostly picked for just canceling on that channel for that tribute to go on to MVP Black's side. I think that's one of the biggest reasons, especially on this map. And so far, we saw that combo going on, totally missing Power Slide combo with Tyrande and MVP Black right after they really punished that hard. We're going to see some similar things going on within this game.
So, cooldown reduction on 7, no cleanse, which is pretty unusual, but when you look at the comp of Black, there's not much to cleanse.
That's actually right.
So, I actually think this is a pretty smart choice by Nasong. Like, when I look at the talents, I'm like, oh, he didn't pick cleanse, that's weird. And then when you really think about it, it's actually not that weird at all. Lot of damage being put up onto Magi here. He tries to self-heal. He will go down. Can they turn this fight around? They've got a lot of CC, but not enough. Joker goes down and resets galore here for Reset himself. A fitting role swap, I suppose, here for him for MVP Black, because his Leeming has been out of control. They're going to get themselves another curse here, or rather, they're going to put themselves on curse point by getting another tribute. They have 10, and look at the monopools. They may decide to boss here. Looks like they're just going to push this fort instead. With the low respawn timers, Mighty will be back up, but they're not going to have heroics, which is normally when you see that 5:30 to 6, when you have double tribute boss, when you have 10 first, you see MVP Black, Miracle, and TNL all really liking that timing. They only have Abathur, so it's a little bit tougher. It's not a 5-man, but gonna get a fort. The boss is still something they could have considered, but they take the other option instead.
See, Tyrande tries to snipe on that Avatar, but Kyocha instantly moves away and changes his positioning.
Mighty has the win in terms of positioning here, and the Sentinel scouts the rotation down for Black, sees that not everyone's here right away, but even still, without 10, I just don't see this being a reality for Mighty. They're going to have to actually accept that they are cursed. Sentinel being used earlier means it's not available here to deny the tribute channel, and MVP Black is going to get curse. 3 tributes to 0, and 2 bosses still available. They didn't even use the boss to guarantee this.
I think they can just even go for it right after, because I don't think Mighty will hit 10 by that time. Maybe very close to 10. And also having Tyrande for Mighty when Black literally has a dive comp. Leeming can teleport in, can just use Aldrian's Might, and Meriday can just follow them, just dash in, just burst damage on Magi. That's what's been happening so far. I think it's very a counter pick to Tyrande right now.
Yeah. Now, as suspected, it's going to be Starfall Bloodlust. We've seen this a few times in Korea. Again, it's one of those old strategies that even back in the day didn't have that much success, to be honest, but we've seen it a few times. Notably, I think even Team Hero using it against MVP Black.
And knowing that there's not much of a CC, Joker's going to go all in with that Mosh. Let's see how well that actually connects.
Yeah, Wave
only
of
has
Force.
to, only has to get Leeming in there.
Yeah, Wave of Force is already taken before this, and it's going to be really important to deny this, so I like this choice a lot. As we see, actually, Sands is struggling to stop this push in the bot lane. The Curse really pushing all 3 lanes. Mighty posturing around boss. Kyocha is dropping so many of these toxic nests down that it's hard to actually make this a secret. They're being very diligent about clearing all those nests, but they've telegraphed this boss potential move to MVP Black. They're no longer going to be able to do it. It's no longer safe. Meriday gets away, and all throughout this time, Sake got mid-soak, pushed the mid lane into the keep wall, and this is no secret to MVP Black that they're going to try to boss here. They're down a talent tier. All that MVP has to do is show themselves, and Mighty needs to leave. They're going to look for the pick here with the stun on the Tist, but it's just not enough damage. Bloodlust is used way too late. Nasong barely gets out. No, he doesn't. Meriday gets the finishing blow there. SDE is dead as well, and this boss was greedy, and they got punished No way. Even attempting to get the stuns there was not enough. Marinae with a self-palm. Perfectly timed. He is going to go off once he gets out of that Void Prison. It's a wipe with reset. Getting the 5-man. And this is why when your opponent has vision of you on boss, they're up a talent tier, and they have a comp to stop you from getting that burst on the CC there. You don't commit to the boss. You don't commit to that fight. They got destroyed.
I can't believe my eyes. Was that just Marinae with a hat forcing 3 members of Mighty by himself?
Basically, yes.
A support?
Also, Tist absorbed so many cooldowns, so much CC before that fight even began. For what? He lost maybe 15, 20% of his health. And then Black was like, okay, we're going in. We take this fight. I can't believe you even tried this. It's a tough situation to be in, right? Mighty took the greedy option. And greedy plays, high risk, high reward. Sometimes the risk does not pay off. This was a high risk, high consequence situation for Mighty.
Basically, that was it. And really just dropping that Sank right on top of that Starfall, where all of Mighty, they actually want to fight near that range, but having that Sank right in between, they really couldn't bring any damage. They had to disengage, and Marinae just forced them out with Avatar. It was a crazy scene to actually see that coming out from MVP Black.
Either you just see the Bloodlust go off, and everybody's running.
Yep,
and you're
no
like, well,
damage.
does it matter that you have Bloodlust right now? Unfortunately, no. Nasong was the one who was really low. Even if he had Ancestral, he couldn't have Ancestral himself. But good fight there for Black. And when you're behind, you have to make greedy choices like this a lot of the time. Mighty went for it, didn't pay off. We're going to see this amazing siege attempt here from Black. Joker gets out for now. Marinae super aggressive, palms himself, gets the proc. Will he be able to get out? Just barely attempts to dash away. Sans will Vorpal in for the kill, but they still lose the keep. It's a 1-for-1.
And here's that Liming clone trying to do some double orb. Looks pretty cool and doing the damage. Even Molten Core popped, and Boss is on the core now. Kyocha's clone doing some damage to the core. That's not going to be enough, but that was enough for MVP Black at the moment. There's still a talent 3 full levels ahead.
Yeah. Now Mighty is going to take, I mean, any fight they take now, probably for the rest of the game, minus a big turnaround, a big comeback here, is going to be down a talent tier. They already made the decision to do that once at boss. It ended up being painful for them. This time their opponents are not on curse point. I like the idea to poke with all the poke they have and try to soak at the same time. They have a top push going on as well, which is working out really well for them. But overextending here could prove to be disastrous again. They have a lot of poke. And look at this. Nasong's going to go up to the top, it looks like. He was considering it. Rotates back down. Some indecision here.
Black is really taking the time. This bottom lane is pushing to the core, and the catapult will be there very soon. They just have to stall time. Mighty knows this, but they cannot really lose this tribute either because they're down 1 already.
They're going to use Sentinel to delay it, so I like this a lot. I mean, it is going to give curse point to Black, but I like the decision to patiently poke, buy some time, try to soak. They sent Sans down to clear the bot push. Their core didn't lose any health. It didn't go below shields. They get the bruiser cap. They're just trying to be on an even talent tier before Black gets 20. That patience that they had there, it's painful to let that tribute go. You know, it's painful to let Black take that curse point, but they delayed it with Sentinel. They slowed it down, and now they will be even on talent tiers in this game. They're still behind, and everything is stacked against them, but they keep the hope alive. Had they tried to fight and lost, they might have lost the game off of that team fight alone. Now they have a lot more chances here.
And but the next tribute that spawns will be the problem because they have Gyocha. He's gonna keep that pressure on that bottom lane for sure, and the entire team of Mighty, they are just forced to make a decision. Either just try to delay as much as possible, which MVP Black also wants to do the same thing. So they have to look for a team fight. Good Mosh, just perfect boy person along with Laser, with Starfall. They need everything perfect at the moment. Sake going in that Molten Core. Let's see how well they can pressure onto this second wall.
Well, they have so much control over this tribute right now. Good Sentinel here to delay, but that's all they've got now. Holy Ground even being used here by Tist to further delay this. Really cool move. Now the curse is alive for MVP Black. 6 of 6 tributes this game, full control. And Mighty's just playing this conservatively. They're looking for that perfect fight you're talking about. Even a talent tier down, which is only for a few more moments, they have the potential to win a fight. If they have a good Void Prison, Dommage, the Starfall, if everything goes right, this could be a fight they take. Not enough CC here on Dasake. 2 stuns, not enough. Curse is going to give Black so much damage here onto the mid keep. They back off now. It's now even talent tiers. And Mighty misses the window.
And then the bottom lane is already pushing as top is already pushed. They have to make a decision. Great partial light in. Sake is very low, but Sanctification saves the day. Void Prison used to just stall some time. That's actually going to be favoring MVP Black for the moment.
Yeah, stalling is all they needed there. 4 heroics already used. The only one left here for Mighty is Mosh Pit. The mid keep goes down. Actually, no, it's very low. I didn't see a shot of it, so it's still alive for now, but very, very low. Top keep is the one that went down, okay. The top keep is down, so mid's the only one left. Black is just going to take this boss, which will threaten core. It's scouted by the Sentinel. And Mighty may just have to take one last fight. Down 17 to 20 with only Mosh Pit. They're going to try to wait. They know they can't deny the boss. They're going to wait for this push. They're going to try to set up. Look, Kyocha's already spotting for them. They're going to try to set up here for one more fight against Storm Talents. Hoping for a miracle here as they used all their heroics earlier. Starfall, 12 seconds to go. Void Prison, 45 away. Here we go.
Joker dives in right from the side, and that really not finding anyone with that Mosh, and Nasang is very low from Meride alone. That's a pick off.
Yep, SDE is going to be the next to go down, and Reset is going to have a field day. Unfortunately for him, he's actually pretty low on mana. The Wave of Force comes in with Repulsion. Joker gets his Mosh off, but who cares? He's dead. Sands tries to get out here. At least clears those mines, but it's game over. The boss is on the core. Kyocha is on the core. Long time no see, Kyocha Abathur. He's going to take the win with it. MVP Black goes up 2-0. Full control of that game. They basically just made all the safe decisions once they got ahead. And basically we saw a Mighty that was trying to delay tributes, try to soak, try to get 20, forced to take unfortunate team fights where there were down talent tiers. They tried to boss.